Hi everyone, how are you? So today we're going to start with the last video of unit number 3. In this video we are going to be learning or talking about a place that you visited. We're going to be learning how to talk about months and weather, saying when to visit a place, and ask about a holiday or business trip, right? So remember that all of this is focused on the past tense. The first activity is a vocabulary activity. And what we have here are the months of the year, right? So what I want you to do is to have a look at this calendar and try to write the months in order, all right? So please do that because then we're going to be practicing pronunciation. Are you ready? Okay, so we have January, February, then we have March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, October, November, and December. So let's listen so you can practice your pronunciation. So try to repeat after the listening.
Track 38. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December.
Okay, so when we talk about months, it's usually commonly to also be talking about seasons of the year, right? So we have 4 different seasons. We have summer, then we have spring. Well, this is not the actual order, so I'm going to be giving the correct order, right? So we have summer, then we have fall, or also called autumn. Yes, autumn is more used in the British language, right? But we commonly use the word fall. Then we have winter, and finally we have spring, right? So try to answer the question that which months are summer in our country and which ones are winter, right? So we know that summer starts mid-December until mid-March. Then we have in June, right? We're just starting the winter season, which finishes in September, right? And in September we start spring till mid-December as well. Now, let's continue. You can go to page 107 if you want to check more vocabulary, right? Now, we're going to read about some places and we have some descriptions about when is the best time to visit them, right? So let me please move this so it doesn't bother us. We have Rome, Italy, the Rocky Mountains in Canada, Cancun, and Dubai, right? So we have a small image of the map here, and then the descriptions. So read about the 4 places and find 7 adjectives to talk about the weather. Of course, when we talk about visiting a place, one of the main things we consider is the weather, right? How is the weather like? Usually, we don't visit a lot of places in winter, right? Most people, right, prefer summer or warmer weathers to visit a country so you can do more activities, right? But we also have, of course, some exemptions. So please read the description of each place and try to find 7 adjectives to talk about the weather. So please pause the video and come back once you finish. Are you ready? So let's see, what adjectives do we have? Here in Rome, it says it's hot, hot in summer, and cool and wet in winter. So here we have 3 adjectives. Now the Rocky Mountains are cold, right? And then we have the word warm and dry. Then we have hot again, dry again, and sunny. And here we repeat the other words. So let's try to make a list so you can understand when do we use each word, right? So when the temperatures are very high, very, very high, we said that it is hot, right? Hot. Now, if the weather is pleasant, right, is warm enough, you have normal temperatures, sunny, right, you can say that the day is warm. Warm is less than hot. Hot can be a bit suffocating, right? When the day is warm, we can also say that it's sunny. No clouds in the sky, right? And the sun is shining very hard, so we say that a day it's sunny. Now, of course, we have the opposites. Cool in winter, right? Or cold or very cold, like in the case of the Rocky Mountains, right? And before that, something I forgot. When we talk about hot weather, we also have the word dry, right? Which in Spanish would be something like seco. Yes, a dry weather. It means that there's no rain, right? And the temperatures are very, very high. So there's no humidity. Now, the opposite of that would be wet. Yeah, so for example, here in the 5th region, it has been raining a lot, like in the past days. So the weather is very wet, a lot of humidity, right? So it's wet, the opposite of dry. Now, try to think about the place where you live. What words would you use to describe the weather in your city? For example, I live in Quilpué, right? And in the summer, this is called the city of the sun or something like that. Yes. So in the summer, it is very hot. We are not that close to the beach, so it can get really, really hot in summer, right? But in winter, it's very cold, right? Very, very cold, and it can be wet, of course, when it rains. It doesn't rain a lot here, right? But it can get a bit wet. We have some opposite weather, very, very opposite weather, very high temperatures in summer and very low temperatures in winter. Now, here we have some questions. How can you answer these questions? So, I want to make sure that you can see everything. So please excuse me if I'm being a bit annoying with the screen. But here we have some questions. Try to answer these questions by looking at the images here. Number 1 says, I want to go skiing in Canada. When it's the best time? So by reading this, right, we can say, number one, we can say the best time is in February, right? That is what it says there, February. Now, pay attention that the preposition that we use with months and with seasons is the preposition in. So we say in February, in winter. Now, pause the video and try to answer the question number 2, 3, 4, and 5. Try to say yes or no and try to give a reason why. Yeah, so a more complete answer. So pause the video now and then come back once you're ready so we can check. All right? Okay, so let's see. Question number 2 says, is it good to go to Dubai in August? Dubai in August. And we say no, right? Why? Because it's very hot. He says that from June to September, it's very hot. So it's not a good time to go to Dubai in August. Number 3, what's Rome like in July? It's hot and busy, right? So Rome in July, this is Rome, right? Hot and busy, because the only times where it's not hot and busy are from September to October. And we're asking about July, right? Number 4, I want to go camping in the Rocky Mountains. Is August a good time? Yes, right? It's warm and dry. And the last one says, what's the south of Mexico like in October? Is it a good time to go there? We say no. It's hot and very wet. What is the weather like in your country? Write a when to go text like those above. So try to think about maybe the place where you live, right? Or maybe a city that you think is very touristic in the summer, right? Or in the winter, and try to think about the weather and when is the best time that you think, right, to visit Chile. Now let's move on. The next activity, it's talking about a place that you visited in the past, right? So Alejandro here talks about a trip to London. So before you listen, try to match the questions that we have here in this list with the possibilities of answers, right? So read the questions and find the answer that you think is correct. Pause the video and then come back so we can check. Are you ready? So let's see. Question number 1 says, where did you go? Where? London. Who did you go with? I went with 2 friends. When did you go? In July. What was the weather like? Remember that in this case, like is not the verb gustar, right? It means it usually uses a type of description. It asks you to give a description of something. So if I say, what was the weather like? Sería algo como, ¿cómo era el clima? Right? So describe it. So what was the weather like? It was nice. It was quite sunny. Yeah, so there we have the word to describe the weather. What did you do there? We went sightseeing and went to art galleries. What was it like? Was it? It means the journey, right? The trip itself. We say it was interesting but very expensive, right? So London was interesting but very expensive. And where did you stay? We stayed with my brother. Now let's listen to the conversation and try to pay attention to the questions, right, and the answers that he gives.
Track 39. A.
So, Alejandro, did you have a good holiday?
Yes, really good.
Where did you go?
London.
Oh, nice. Who did you go with?
I went with 2 friends. We had a great time. We went to the...
B.
So yeah, we had a great time in London.
That's good. When did you go?
In July.
What was the weather like?
Oh, it was nice. It was quite sunny. Not very warm, but it was okay.
What did you do there?
Oh, we went sightseeing. We went to lots of art galleries. We went to the cinema.
C.
Hey, Sarah, did you know I went to London last summer?
Oh, yeah? What was it like?
Oh, really interesting. Very expensive.
Yeah? Where did you stay?
Oh, we stayed with my brother. He lives in London, so that was cheap.
So, here we have some examples of questions that were asked in the listening, right? And this is one of the most common questions used in the past simple, right? So this is a yes or no question. Did you go to London? Yes, I did. No, I didn't. Did you go sightseeing? Yes, I did. Or no, I didn't. Did you go with friends? Yes or no, right? So all of these questions we have only 2 possibilities of answers, right? We give some information that we want to corroborate. Is it true or is it false in that case, right? Does it apply to you? Now, remember that when we use the auxiliary did, we don't change the verb. We use the base form of the verb and not the verb in past, right? Now, in this case, if I say, did you go to London? That is because I have certain information in my head that leads me to ask this question, right? No es como que yo a cualquier persona vaya por la calle y le diga, oh, ¿tú has ido a London? ¿O fuiste a Londres, cierto? ¿O fuiste a visitar los lugares turísticos? No, right? Tenemos alguna información en nuestra mente que nos hace hacer esta pregunta, right? Now, when we don't have information, right, about anything, and we want the other person to give us that information, we use question words. ¿Sí? Cuando necesitamos esa información extra que no tenemos, entonces es donde nosotros usamos las question words, ¿ya? Que requieren que la persona que contesta nos dé esta información. Where, what, who, right? And question words are always placed at the beginning. We place them at the beginning and then the rest of the question is like a normal question in the past simple, right? Where did you go? What did you do? Who did you go with? Yes? So both questions are used to receive a certain information about the same things, right? Here we're talking about places, then we're talking about activities, and then we're going to talk about friends or company, if you had any company. But we have 2 very different ways of asking this information. In both cases, we're going to use the base form of the verb. Now, esto, chicos, por favor, quiero que lo recuerden porque lo vi en muchas de nuestras evaluaciones también, ¿cierto? Aún tienen problemas identificando cómo crear preguntas y es que las preguntas nunca van a empezar con un sujeto, jamás, ¿sí? No es gramaticalmente correcto empezar una pregunta con ningún sujeto. You, we, they, my mother, my sister, my parents, my neighbors. Da lo mismo el sujeto en cualquiera de sus formas, pero nunca lo vamos a empezar con eso. Siempre va a ser o un auxiliar o un question word. Right? Now, look at these answers. What do you think the questions are? Use the word from the box. I'm going to leave you here some of the examples so you can have a look at them while you're doing the exercise. But here we have Singapore, like in this case, London. And the question is, where did you go? Right? Now, use these question words. You're not going to need more than that. And use the correct structure to write the question. So pause the video for now, write, and come back once you're ready. All right? Are you ready? So let's see. Number 1 was asked, where did you go? Number 2, it would be, when did you go? Right? When? In November. What was the weather like? Who did you go with? Who did you go with? I'm missing a verb there. Where did you stay? What was it like? And the last one, what did you do there? Right? What activities did you do? What did you do? I went to meetings and I went to a few restaurants. Very good. Now here we have another activity, right, for you to think about. It says, choose one of these: a holiday, a business trip, a visit to friends in another town, and be prepared to talk about it. Think about the questions and try to write your own answers. I'm going to be giving you a homework related to this on the Aula Virtual, right, the forum, so you can complete it and I can revise it for you, right? The idea is for you to include all the things that we have learned in this unit, how to talk about the weather, how to talk about the activities you did using the verb go, right? And everything we have done so far, right? Now, for the last thing of this video, because this is getting very long, I have a last activity for you, right? Talking about the verb do. Now, the verb do can get sometimes complicated because you know that do is also used as an auxiliary in the present simple, for example, when we talk about do and does. But the word do is also, as you know, a verb, right? Which means as if. That would be in Spanish, right? Now, let's have a look at the exercise 1. It says, look at the sentences in 1 to 4. How do they continue and match them with a D? So, we have the verb do here used in very different instances. Number 1 says, I do a lot in the evenings. I don't do much in the evenings. What did you do in London? Oh, I did a lot and I didn't do much in London. So, starting from here, try to match the rest of the sentence to make it complete. So, please pause again this video and choose the correct answer. Can we check? All right, so we have number 1. I do a lot in the evenings. That would be with letter D. I go to English classes and the gym. I go out with friends. Now, I don't do much in the evenings. I just stay at home and watch TV. What did you do in London? Oh, I did a lot. I went sightseeing, I went to lots of museums and art galleries, I went to the theater, I went on a boat, right? A lot of things I did in London. I didn't do much in London, I just stayed in the hotel. Now, see what's the difference between these two examples, right? So here we have some sentences, like in the first case, letter D. This is in present, right? I go to English classes. I go out. This is present. So it means that you're talking about something like a routine. And if you say that you do a lot, that means that you have a lot of activities, right, in your evenings, normally. Now, if you don't do much, you say, I just stay at home and watch TV. This means that this is what you regularly do. ¿Ya? Esto es una rutina. Lo que normalmente yo hago es stay at home and watch TV. That is what we use present simple for, right? To talk about routines and to talk about habits. Now, of course, in this case, we have what did you do? I did a lot. We're talking about the past. And here we have the verb went, so we know that we're talking about the past. The same in the case of number 4. I didn't do much. I just stayed in the hotel. So these are the clues. Here we have it right. In present, I do. He or she does. In the past is I did or he and she did. It doesn't change. So it's very, very easy. Choose the sentences that are true for you. So, do you do a lot in the evenings? Or you don't usually do much? And then we have I did a lot yesterday or I didn't do much yesterday. What is the best answer for you? So for example, I would say that I usually do a lot in the evenings, right? I work, I clean my house, I record videos, I check tests, right? I exercise in the evening sometimes. And then we have this one. Yesterday, for me yesterday it was Saturday and I didn't do much. I stayed at home, played some games with my sister, right? And stayed with my family most of the time. Now ask and answer this question. Look at these questions and try to answer them using the correct verbs, right? We can talk about this in the online lesson as well. So do you usually do a lot at the weekends? What do you do? What do you do at New Year? What do you usually do on your birthday? How you celebrate it? What did you do yesterday? Where did you go on holiday last year? And what did you do? These are very good speaking questions. Now, that's going to be it for today. Remember that at the end of every unit, we do the review section, but this video is way too long, so I'm going to give that for you. If you have questions about the answers of that, right, just let me know and I can share them with you in a few more days. Take care, and I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.